Wholeness, beautiful beings, welcome to Notes of Nara, and may this message find you well and whole. So, we're going to get into the topic again involving shadow work. And so, today's topic deals with attachment and aversion. How we love others is how we love ourselves. And, I really love the engagement from those that found the messages about attachment styles helpful. Thank you so much for your engagement, for sharing and being open and vulnerable about some of your feelings. It could be quite painful, but as an alchemist, I like to alchemize and shift what's painful into something that can be quite healing and impactful. That's why I'm here now, sharing with you, speaking with you, because I'm speaking from learned experiences and hard-earned lessons, from those experiences. And much better from about a week ago. My voice is still scratchy. I'm going to start doing singing and doing my musical thing, but I want to make sure my throat is completely and fully healed all the way. So if you still hear a little scratchiness, the infection's pretty much gone now, thank goodness. It's just the residual stuff. And that's a thing, a lot of residual energy, right, towards the end of this year. We are in December, so happy 1st December to everyone as well. We have 30 days left of 2025, entering into the void of 2026. And, it doesn't have to feel like we're entering into a black hole, but I feel like it's definitely a void of pure potentiality and just a further, a much larger opportunity when you look at the next 12-month cycle, right, of 365 days. There's tons of opportunities to address these issues when it comes to attachment and aversion. And those two words came up very strongly because I'm studying Thada Buddhism at the moment, which is incredibly. I'm just the presence of Thada Buddha, Thada Ma in my life right now is incredible. That's all I have to say. It is such a quiet strength that she represents. And all that we pray to and that we observe and that we worship, that we meditate on outside of ourselves is just a reflection of what's within ourselves. So working with her and studying her texts and her writings and the English translation of her praises, the words came up: attachment and aversion. And it's a very beautiful prayer I recite every morning now, and it's amazing, with her, the amount of compassion. It's always the green Dharma is a reminder of the compassion that we must hold for ourselves and for others. Okay, and that could be very difficult if you are struggling with attachment issues or you find yourself averting love. You're finding yourself averting and avoiding things and feelings and emotions and wounds and traumas and experiences. Okay, or maybe personalities, family members, friends or acquaintances, environments, things that are triggering to you. Because I always find that people who avert or people who avoid tend to are usually individuals who are the most triggered. I mean, it's a quiet triggering. Very, very quiet. It's like avoidants don't speak this out very loudly. They don't say, oh my gosh, your love is triggering me. Or, oh my gosh, you holding me accountable is triggering me. It's quiet. They go silent. They go ghost. And I find that people who attach in an unhealthy way, I would say, very imbalanced, they tend to they are obsessive. They are compulsive, They lack, they're very ungrounded. Okay. And how can I say this with such conviction and such confidence? Because I've been both. I find that, we live in an age where everything's labeled now, everything is defined, everything is categorized, everything what color is your aura? What's your birth sign? What do you do for a living? What are your hobbies, right? What's your spirituality? Or are you non-spiritual? It's like there's so much information you we're constantly creating our own profiles, our own digital profiles, just unknowingly, really, with our engagement with each other online and even offline. We've always done that. Human beings have always tried to put ourselves in boxes. And so what does this do? What does it have to do with love and shadow work, this attachment and aversion? How we love others mirrors back to us how we love ourselves. If you ever find that you're being a jerk to somebody who's just honestly trying to love you, right? Whether that's your parents, I think parents are a really great example, because parenthood is you're getting you're getting the best of both worlds, meaning the not so great of a human being and the best that they can offer you when it comes to parenthood, when it comes to having a mother or father or lack thereof. Okay. Some people, they are raised by demons. I'll just say that. I know that's pretty dark, but I met people in my life where they literally were raised by very, very possessed demonic people that made their childhood hell. Then I've met individuals that have very angelic um, parents, right? Very angelic, imperfect, yes, but just the love and the attention and support. And yes, they were still faulty. Either way, it's a spectrum. Our childhoods are a spectrum, and that's our foundation of how we were taught to love is how we usually end up loving other people. And at the end of the day, how we love ourselves. And so if you find yourself overdoing it and over and attaching yourself, because in the teachings and what I'm studying right now, I haven't been initiated yet, but I am very much very, very serious practitioner of it. um, in the teachings of Tara, I will say she's saying just be the ultimate observer of what you what you're currently attached to in your present life, and usually what you're avoiding, what you have an aversion to. That's most telling. The things that we're so incredibly too attached to, and things that we're running away from, literally mirrors back to us the state of our being and how we're using the love energy in our lives. Because I believe love is a force, love is a power, love is an energy, and it's a frequency vibration. And we as human beings can use and misuse frequencies and vibrations in our lives. There are moments I've misused my creativity. I misused my spiritual gifts by not using them at all. I've misused my time, right? It's very difficult as I'm blossoming, as my pathless path is unfolding before my very eyes. It's getting that much harder for me to commit myself to tasks and jobs and things that just are not my vibe. It is I have to literally trick my brain, right, to do certain things currently in my life that just has nothing or very, very little, to do with what I'm truly about. What really allows my soul to sing, okay? And that can feel like, prison. Um But yes, ask yourself, how do you love other people? There's some people I've noticed online when I'm reading comments, because I'm a comment reader, because that's the most psychologically engaging thing. You can gather so much information on the collective when you're not only studying and receiving messages online, but also the type of engagement from, people who engage right, with the video or with the message. But I just find it's there's some people that they become so honest, so blunt with their feelings. And on the one end, they're called keyboard warriors, those that will go on and they'll project their ego, they'll project their wounds and their issues still in a digital way. And then you have people that would say and share things online in the comment section that their spouse would never know, or their closest friend would never know, right? It's very, very interesting what people choose to do with their energy. And so asking yourself how do you love? And then that's a great indicator on how much you love yourself and how you love yourself. Do you love with an openness? Do you love with compassion? Do you love with patience? Do you love with presence? Do you love with groundedness? Do you love with discernment? Do you love with using healthy boundaries, healthy emotional boundaries? There's a term in Black culture called struggle love, okay? And because I'm at this point in my life where I'm very, very much becoming more intentional by how I think, how I feel, what I create, and how I conduct myself and my mindset, all of those things. And so there's this phrase, it's called struggle love, where you have, it's everything is going to battle and going to war, right? Struggle love is like you have your mate with you and it's a constant struggle. Paying the bills, constant struggle, but you get it done. Raising the kids, constant struggle, but you get it done. Fighting and arguing because one, is the other partner is struggling with internal battles. You just hold their hand. You're carrying 80% of the relationship while they're giving 20% or 5% or 0%. Struggle love. That's not love. That's not love. Okay? Really, it isn't. Over attachment, anxious attachment, avoidant attachment, that's not love. Those are real, I would believe, clinically confirmed psychological, neurological issues, imbalances, and disorders that we've normalized in saying, yes, love is hard. Yes, marriage is hard, right? Marriage to me, which is marrying of the two spirits. So when people physically come together, you're marrying your life force energies together. That's marriage to me. I know I can make a video on that discussing my specific opinion and point of view on what marriage is. In other people's eyes, marriage is a business contract. Another perspective would be marriage is a religious contract and covenant between man, woman, man, woman, woman. Okay. But I, as a alchemist and spiritualist, I view the physical union between man and woman as a marrying of energies, a union of life force energies that you're unifying yourself, you're unifying your existence with another. But when I hear marriage is hard, what's making it hard? Are you allowing love because when I hear, oh, my marriage is hard, or marriage is hard in general, I'm hearing love doesn't flow where it needs to go with ease. That's what I'm hearing when I hear, oh, my relationship's difficult. That means love isn't going where it needs to go, where it needs to grow, where it needs to flow. There's a stagnation somewhere. Because to me, and that's okay. That's all right. I would just prefer people be a little bit more mindful with their words, because you're cursing your connection. Oh, my marriage is hard. My marriage is difficult. My husband's difficult. My wife is difficult. My girlfriend's difficult. My boyfriend, ugh. It's like, no, you're frustrated and you're anxious, right? Or you're avoiding because there's fear, right? Love, there's a block. Love isn't able to get through. Okay. And that's what breaks communication. That's what breaks that union, right? You begin to see you versus them, and not a we. It's you and I, not us. And so with that again, and people, there's some individuals that they shy away from the mirroring thing, the mirroring theory of using people as a mirror reflection of yourself, because sometimes you could be vibing in an incredibly beautiful way, and you're showing all this love, and you still get treated like shit, you still get disrespected. And then that's almost like, you just have to ask yourself, am I loving myself if I'm not, if I'm allowing this type of experience? Is this me loving myself, or is this me giving love where it can't go? Like there's a block. Do we keep loving until and hope that love will break down the block? Or do we stop and take that love or redirect that love and let the block be the block and move on? That is the big question. Because what I'm finding, you can have two conflicting truths at the same time. um like I mentioned before in a previous video, you have the Christian perspective of, you love something and you allow mistreatment because you love prevails all, so you suffer for it, right? The crucifixion of Christ, you just suffer, you let them hit you, you let them beat you, and then one day they too will realize the love that you are trying to get them to see within themselves, right? Or you can detach completely, right? Be water, because water eventually will you don't fight stone with stone or fire with fire, you just be water. And in the water, if you think about it, will slowly erode the stone into nothing, right? But there's a thing with water, it's like water moves, so you have to keep moving. And so yeah, when you're facing these things, asking yourself, how do you love? Do you love like water? Do you love like earth? Do you love like air? Do you love like fire? Right? You can make it elemental if that resonates more with you. Because for me, I would say, with water, a lot of water, just until I'm completely drained. And I don't do that anymore, but when I've studied my patterns and studied my own behavior, yeah, it's definitely overgiving. But then it's like, when you feel so depleted, that's how you love yourself. You love and you give and give and give until there's nothing there for you. And so it's almost like a dry desert. That's funny. Because deserts are already dry. But it's just a barren, just completely, like a drought, if you will. There's a spiritual drought. And yeah, it can be tough asking yourself this, because again, it's all about emotional accountability. Like, how do I love? And how does my love, how how does the love that I give and offer others affect them? Is this fulfilling for them? Is this making them feel all right? Right? Do they feel at peace when I'm around? Am I causing suffering with my love? Are they annoyed by how much I give? You know, um, do they reciprocate anything that I'm giving out? Okay. And yeah, and again, like, when you're with the right people, and when you're with the right frequencies and vibrations, you'll never overgive. You'll never overgive. When you're with the wrong type of energies, you're going to feel drained. You will not feel fulfilled. You will feel imbalanced. You will feel confused. And because you're like, I'm giving to this connection, to this family member, to this friend, to this colleague, to my employer, to my neighbor, to my sibling. Why am I not getting it back? Again, it's all about alignment. It's very difficult to be that water that flows past that stone, that rock. That rock's not going to move. It will move eventually. It will shift eventually, but not on our time, not on our timeline. And maybe it's not meant to. We're not meant to be that you know that rock for them. We're meant to just be our flowing, self, and we're supposed to flow right past it. Let them attract another rock and rock, and they just sitting there, just going at it and eroding until they become something else. Okay, not every I know I may sound a little bit all over the place with this topic today. But yeah, that I find is incredibly important to just be mindful of. How do you love? Because the scariest thing is to see if how you're loving someone is healing, or if it's even love at all. Sometimes it's just wounds disguised as love. It's more of love me. It's more of a need. It's more of validation. It's more of acceptance. You're just needing someone to look to see your value. That's not love. That's not love at all. When we say the words "I love you," it's almost like a question. Do you love me? Do you see me? Do you want me? Do you desire me? A lot of the time when we say those words, it's masking deeper, darker truths that hide in the shadow. So with this message, may this message find you well and whole. Please let me know your thoughts and feelings of, of course, I will, if I have the time or energy, I will definitely engage with your commentary. So thank you so much. Till next time. Goodbye.